Yo, what's up guys? My name is JT and we're going to try to solve a storage problem right here on Model Railroading the Southwest. Okay, so I am approaching a problem very quickly here in the train room and I do have a solution. So that problem is locomotive storage space. I have none. I am completely booked everywhere that I have shelf space. As you can see, this shelf is completely full to the extent that I have 6 to 7 locomotives sitting behind me on the layout, and if you see down there that there's a space open, those are sitting on the layout too. So I have nowhere to store anything whatsoever. Now you might be thinking, why do you have everything out on a shelf? Like, why don't you just put them back in the boxes? Well, that is a very good question, and I'll answer that for you right now. That is because I don't like to store stuff in boxes because that's how stuff gets broken. Taking them out of the box, putting them back in is just a huge problem when it comes to details because those are just going to break very quickly and it's just going to turn into a problem. If they're sitting on a shelf like they are right now, they're not going to be touched except for putting them on the layout and taking them back off, and they're going to sit there and nothing's going to happen to them. So they're perfectly safe sitting on a shelf. So if you remember, about 2 years ago, I got this shelf at Hobby Lobby. We put lights on it. It came out pretty nice. It was perfect for what I had at the time. But now, as you can see, it's completely packed and full of trains. So fast forward to this year, I ended up getting the entire Union Pacific Heritage set from Walthers. I had nowhere to put those. So I ended up getting that shelf that's in the back corner right there, and I stored all of those cars on that shelf along with the Rail Runner set and the Kraus Maffe's that are at the top shelf that you cannot see right now. So let's go ahead and pan over and look at the Kraus Maffe's and look at the shelf in the closet. Now you can see the Kraus Maffe's up there. Now let's take a look at inside the closet. Now inside the closet, you can see that there's another shelf in there, and there's more locomotives, and there are more passenger cars. There's the Amtrak set, the Empire Express set, and also the Super Chief set. Now, I have a huge addiction, as you can see. I love to buy trains. If I see a good deal, I'm going to pick it up, or if I see a rare item that I've been looking for, I'm going to pick it up. So this is really kind of getting to the point where it's ridiculous. So as you can even see inside the closet, those are full of boxes from the trains, including underneath the layout. There's some well-organized shelves under there that have all the boxes as well. There's even some in my kitchen. I'm very embarrassed to say that, but there are boxes everywhere throughout my house. Not really, but you know, if you get the idea, I have a lot of stuff. So since you guys are getting somewhat of a tour of this side of the room, I thought I would point out my stereo system that's sitting down there at the bottom shelf. Now, this is an older Yamaha home theater receiver. Now, this one was my starter that I had in this house when we first bought it. Now, this one is serving the purpose for the stereo system in this room, which sounds pretty good, especially for the size of this room. Now, this Yamaha receiver is hooked up to a couple of Klipsch speakers, which do very well because they have horn tweeters and they really project really well. So they sound really good. You know, they're not, set up in the correct position to give a good sound stage, but it gets the job done along with that Klipsch 10-inch powered subwoofer. It'll knock your socks off in this small room. So on this side of the room, you can see that there is a shelf. Now this one was installed by the original owner of this house. It's a nice shelf. It looks real nice and rustic. I really like the way it looks. It's just in the way of my future plans. Now what's sitting on top of this shelf is a bunch of detailing supplies, which is Adams polishes. On a side note, I am a huge fanatic when it comes to detailing vehicles. I love detailing vehicles. I have a garage kept Dodge Challenger that's sitting in my garage right now that has never seen rain. It's impeccable shape, and that's how I keep it in impeccable shape, is with this Adams Polishes product. So if you guys are looking for some detailing surprise, check out Adams Polishes. Good stuff. So you might be asking, why don't you just use the shelf to display your trains? Well, that would be a very good question, and the way I'm going to answer it for you is that this shelf is not built to a great quality. All the shelves are kind of slightly tilted forward. It's not true, and it's not level whatsoever. So if I were to put something on it, I would run the risk of something falling off of it somehow or another. It does a job for these bottles of detail products, but not for trains. So in this side of the room, I'm going to install some cabinets that I'm going to show you a little bit later. I got them from my mother. She got them from her aunt, who's my great aunt, whatever. But anyways, they're going to go in this portion, and they're nice because they're nice and lighted. They have glass. They're pretty cool looking. Another thing that we're going to do in this video is install a TV right here so that I can look at the TV while I'm working on the layout, or use it as a monitor for when I record videos and stuff like that. So that's going to go on this portion of the wall is the TV and some two nice new shelves. Well, they're not really that new. They're kind of old. But anyway, they're new to me. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm on to the last screw here. There wasn't too many. That's kind of, it's kind of scary that there wasn't many screws in this. But let's go ahead and take that off and see what it looks like. There it is. So this is, so you can tell that this shelf is not well made whatsoever. These are just kind of like sitting there, as you can see. Wow. See, that's why I did not want to use this for the trains. But let's go ahead and take this out of here, and let's go ahead and check out that cabinet, or those two cabinets I'm going to put in here. So here are the shelves that I was telling you guys about. I got these from my mother, who she got from my great aunt, and now they're mine. They're actually in pretty good shape. There's not too much wrong with them. There's a couple of nicks and scratches on them, but what are you gonna do? These are like maybe 20 years old or something like that. So they'll do for now. I'm probably going to upgrade these in the future because these aren't exactly my style, so I might change them up in the future. I don't know. But these shelves are pretty nice. They're lighted. There has a mirror on the background. That way there's some more reflection. Instead of it just being a piece of wood in the back, it'll reflect the light much better. The shelves are actually glass, so the light will go down to each other's shelf. So I told you guys that these were lighted. So I'm going to show you guys how they look inside and what I'm going to upgrade these bulbs with, so that way they're brighter. So just above these shelves, I'm going to go ahead and install a TV right above it with a swivel, and that way I can move it around and stuff like that. So the TV is going to go right above them, and it's going to look pretty good. So let's go ahead and start working on these shelves, and I'm going to get these cleaned up, and I'm going to show you guys the different bulbs I got. So here are the cabinets, and they're looking much better. I hit them with some Murphy's oil soap, and they look much more vibrant, and they look pretty good. So I have the room dimmed a little bit, and I wanted to point out the lights that are in them. They're very, very dim from when I first got them. So as you can see, the one on the right is much, much brighter. The one on the left is much dimmer. And the reason is because they take very small bulbs. The sockets in them take the small bulbs that you would find in a night light. So it's a very tiny bulb. It's probably about 4 watts. Well, I ended up finding these LED lights at Walmart. These are some decorative candelabra base light bulbs, and these are the same bases that you would use for a night light. So these are 15 watt equivalent. So it's about 10 more watts than what you would have found in the smaller bulbs. So as you can see, the lights are much brighter on the right than they are on the left. I'll go ahead and take this off and give you guys a closer look. As you can see, this is the tiny light that's in the left one. It's not very bright whatsoever, and it's very, very dim. So let's take a look at the other side. So this is the bulb that I'm using on the other side. As you can see, it's much bigger and it's much brighter, and it fills up the cabinet much, much better. So I really would recommend, if you have any of these sockets that take the nightlight bulb sized bases, use these candelabra ones. They're pretty nice. So the project is pretty much done, and I'm very happy with the outcome. I have these new cabinets installed, and they're looking pretty good. I cleaned them up. I put some of that Murphy's oil soap on top of them, and they look pretty nice. They look nice and vibrant. They don't look so drab like they did earlier. I also cleaned up the shelves that go inside the cabinets, and those are nice and clean. I have a few engines sitting on top of those shelves. I don't have all that I want to put in them, just because I want to do some organization to the shelf to the left of me. On top of these cabinets, I have some of these packaged model cars. Those are probably not going to sit there and be there. I think I'm going to take them out to my shop and put them where the rest of them are. So above these cabinets, I told you guys I was going to install this TV, and I did. It came out pretty nice. I like it there. It's able to swivel outwards, and I'll actually tilt as well, which is pretty nice. So I can watch it from anywhere in this room on the layout, wherever I want. I also have a Roku hooked up to it, so I can watch Netflix, Amazon, or YouTube, whatever. it's pretty nice to have a TV in here. It's nice. So also I wanted to mention that I added these different light bulbs to these cabinets. I really like the way they look. They're much brighter than what they were earlier, and I think it just gives it a nice warm glow. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to give you guys a quick little, close-up of everything. So before I end the video, I wanted to show you inside of the shelf. So here's a couple of the Krauss-Maffeis. They're hanging out there on that shelf. There's 3 other engines sitting on that shelf over there. So what I wanted to show you guys on the TV is that I actually concealed the power cable that comes down from it, and I bought these concealers from Walmart, and I think it's pretty nice. I hate when cables are exposed, especially coming down from a wall-mounted TV. So I really like this TV is installed here. I'm able to swivel it outwards so I can watch whatever I want anytime. This part of the room didn't change at all, really. Those engines are going to stay there. Those cars are going to stay there. Maybe I might remove some of those engines and put them inside the cabinet. I'm not sure. I took the Krauss-Maffeis off the top shelf up there and I put them inside the cabinet. I took 4015 off of the shelf and put it inside the cabinet as well. So everything is pretty much the same on this side of the room. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for watching my video. If you guys have any questions or comments, go ahead and put a comment down below. So that's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later. Take care and keep it between the rails.